I don't still understand why in the UK, most people who are stabbed, killed by knives and sword are mostly blacks. This was the moment the suspect was arrested 22 minutes after the first call to the police and was detained after being shot with a taser, a stunt gun that some other officers are authorized to carry. The suspect was then taken to the hospital, having been injured when his vehicle struck a house. Mind you, he was the one driving after he killed 14-year-old Daniel Anjorin and leaving 4 others, including a police officer, injured. London swordman charged for murder. United Kingdom Metropolitan Police got the swordman arrested after he was tasered with a stunt gun. As you all know, that 36-year-old Spanish Brazilian man on the 30th of April 2024 went rampaging, killing a British Nigerian 14-year-old by name Daniel Anjorin and inflicted severe injuries on other 4 persons. Guys, so he went as far as driving his van into a house, which made him to sustain some injuries. He was arrested, taken to the hospital for treatment, after which he will be charged to court. Let's not forget that Daniel Anjorin was also an Arsenal fan, a student who was going to school on that set day, putting earphones on his ears, making him not to hear the shouting warnings people were calling on him to run for his life. The rampage swordman eventually attacked the 14-year-old boy, cut his head and chest. This is the picture of the swordman who goes by the name Marcos Monzo. It's still unfetched why he did what he did on that day, but we don't even know whether it's related to mental health issues or colomenta. Okay? But the bottom line is that people should be careful when we are walking on the street, especially here in the UK. Knife killing, more especially in the areas of London, is really increasing each passing day. Hopefully, we hope the government will do something proactive about it to control it, because it's really getting out of hand. You don't know who is who. You will just be walking. Somebody will just come from your behind or your side and start hammering you, butchering you in the very before of all. And this is one of the aunties of the disease, where she pours her pain, her anger, her grievances.
Said, look at the newspapers. What did they call him? What was his name? The sword boy. The Sun addressed him as the sword boy. Why? Is that, you know what I mean? It's enough.
So they call him the sword boy on the
newspaper. See how they reported this story. You will feel so bad. So the color of our skin is now a problem for us in this country. That is what is going on. Why? What have we done? Eh? What is this? Why is this different?
Okay.
Thank you for coming down, but something has to be done. Enough is enough. We're tired of this. And there was another story that was saying he was apparently arrested beforehand, but that story is a bit wishy-washy. Nobody seems to know the true picture. All everybody wants is the truth for the family.
Yes,
they deserve
absolutely.
to know the truth.
They need to know the truth.
Say the truth and set yourself free.
Exactly.
Don't cover anything.
Yeah.
Do you understand? It wasn't their fault the man attacked anybody. No, we're not saying that. But the truth needs to be told. What really happened? There was something that led up to this. What was it? Where was he before this? 24 hours, 48 hours, where was he? He must have been somewhere. You understand?
The perpetrator, yes? He must have been somewhere,
Something has happened with him and the police beforehand.
Yeah.
That has to be revealed. Because there's a lot of stories going on. It was, it didn't, you know, social media has this way of making things worse than, however, the truth is important. This situation, as far as I am concerned in this community, was not handled properly. A certain gentleman in Southeast London was shot, unarmed, by the police. Where was the police presence? Where were the police? They did not come out in arms enough. Yes, they came out. Yes, they did their best. But that their best was not good enough. Yeah, this is Hainault, a very quiet community. But
you've lived here for a very long time.
Since 2009, we have police presence, but that day it was. I feel they let him down. They let the family down. There was no police presence, and then the police that were here, there was no support. They didn't have the correct protection for themselves. The first thing you do is safeguard yourself.
Yeah. Like I watched the video when the lady was
the police were
approaching the
The
perpetrator.
tasers didn't work. One of them should have been calling for backup ASAP. From down there to down here, there was no backup. I am so sorry. This little child was failed. Nobody should tell me any different. He was failed by the community. He was failed by the policing. Sadiq Khan needs to get involved in here because this is unbelievable. Whenever the black boys are being picked up for weed, the police presence here is unbelievable. The police presence here is unbelievable. You see TSU come out. You see territorial police.
Only just for weed.
Just for weed. Because it's a black boy. I've been here since I know what I'm saying. Something has to be done. Let's remove the color and focus on protecting everybody. Regardless.
I think this lady is making a lot of sense. Knife attack in the United Kingdom. Sometimes let's think critically. Why is it that it's blacks they are always going for? There is no passing month we don't hear stories that a black-skinned or multiple black-skinned have been stabbed, killed, or injured. Please connect the dots.
A 36-year-old man charged over the Hainault sword rampage that left a schoolboy dead and 4 others seriously wounded is an amateur musician and mystic who dressed up as Robin Hood for an archery game weeks before the attack. Marcus Aurelio Arduini Monzo is a dual Spanish and Brazilian national who goes by the name Freaking Mark on social media. He was remanded in custody today after appearing in court charged with the murder of Daniel Anjorin, 14, as well as 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of grievous bodily harm, aggravated burglary and possession of a bladed article. In another photo, he posted he can be seen smiling and doing a thumbs up with a collection of medals round his neck after success in a sports contest. Monzo is accused of crashing a van into a fence in Lane Close just before 7 AM on Tuesday and then attacking 2 members of the public with a sword. Daniel was killed just moments after leaving his house, with neighbors claiming he could not hear their warnings because he was wearing headphones for his journey to school.
Well, there we are. Clearly, you could see there the suspect, first of all, brandishing that sword-like weapon, and then at least 2 police officers using tasers. And there you see more police officers from the armed police unit arriving, and he is clearly now in custody. 2 tasers fired, and then armed police arriving. And then, according to the police, this 36-year-old suspect, having been arrested, as we've seen there at the scene, was taken to hospital and has not yet been interviewed, we're told, because he suffered injuries. Well, the police are saying he suffered injuries when his van collided with a building, but he was subsequently seen brandishing that sword. So it may well be that the injuries have something to do with the tasering.